This video and its content are protected by and operate underneath the guides of the Fair Use Act. It will be used for reporting possible teachable moments, criticisms, but most importantly, my commentary and review. So, hey, YouTube and anyone who gets butthurt, do not come copyright striking my channel. Also, everything in this video is allegedly according to what has been alleged, because even if we see them do it with our own two eyes, hear it come out of their mouths with our own two ears, or read it in court docs, it is still alleged because we weren't there, so we don't know what really happened.
That girl Henny, y'all gotta go to her channel.
The girl Henny, do you know who she is?
She a blogger or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, where this lady come from?
You right on your ass.
She on your life, G.
Shout out to Henny over there.
Yo, what's poppin', Henny gang. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Sit down and allow us to pour you up a cup of hot Henny. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell, select all, so that you get notified whenever I do a video. And if you are a returning Mob Down Henny gang member, now let's get into this topic. Thank you for your patience. I know that I'm running a few minutes late, but I'm here and we're going to get this topic popping and rocking and rolling. Now, recently, Jaguar Wright went on the Perc Morgan show and she accused Jay-Z of setting up R. Kelly. And I know that a lot of us a lot of us that have been around since the 90s and all of that stuff, like when Jay-Z and R. Kelly and Diddy and all of them were running the radio airwaves and they was running it up on the charts, and we had the Source Awards and the BET Awards and all of this stuff going on, right? Hip hop was beautiful, so we thought. Because we are finding out now that it was not as beautiful as we thought. Baby, hip hop has gone ugly, and you know it. Now, as far as this allegation goes, now a lot of people know that there was the Best of Both Worlds album. There was the Unfinished Business album, which was 2 albums. And then we know there was a Best of Both Worlds tour. And we also know that during the Best of Both Worlds tour, that tour came to a screeching halt because there was an incident that happened between Jay-Z and R. Kelly. Well, not really Jay-Z, but it happened between Ty, which, if you know from listening to Jigga Man's records, okay, Ty is one of his entourage. So there was a situation with Ty and R. Kelly, and of course this caused a whole feud, which resulted in R. Kelly suing Jay-Z for $75 million and Jay-Z countersuing R. Kelly. But the crazy thing is, in 2006, I believe, they joined up together again to do a tour. And baby, child, that's the summary of what we about to get into, because yes, Henny got the Henny for y'all, because I know everybody needs a refresher. And then there's those who are not privy to knowing this information because of when they came onto the scene with hip hop, be it because of, you know, how old they are, whatever. Now, this caught my eye. I have a problem with Jag trying to pull my man down. She do what she want with the others, but don't play with Jay. Well, baby, I'm sorry. Your man got a lot of dirt on his name. And I'm going to tell you like this. His name is listed in a case that was here in New York in federal court against Epstein. So Jigga Man's hands ain't so clean. And I'm going to just put this disclaimer out there. You don't get as high up in the chain as Diddy and Jay-Z did without getting a little dirt and some smut on your name behind the scenes. That's a fact. I'm sorry. I was a Jigga Man fan too. But Jigga Man ain't put nothing out for me to be a fan of in years. So that's why I said was. And not only that, he's a Sag. Like, shout out to the Sages. But anyway, this is not about taking a side. This is about giving you the content. So let's get into it. And let's start this off with how this all started off. Okay? She said, so Jay-Z got dirt on his shoulder. Why are y'all like this? Why are y'all like this? But I love that for us. I love that for us. Okay. All right. So now let's get into, we're going to get into this clip. Shout out to Perc Morgan. This information is being used for educational and entertainment purposes. And it is being used underneath the Fair Use Act. So please do not come copyright striking my channel. Okay. So now we're going to get into this clip from the interview that was done the other day. No, this is not the screen that I like. So let us fix that. Yeah, there we go. We get to the part that I like because y'all like it when I like it. All right. So now let's hear what Jaguar had to say about Jay-Z when it came down to R. Kelly.
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there.
Do you think?
So, I found it. I don't know about y'all, but for all of my old heads that was around, I found it quite interesting when they announced this tour that Jay-Z and R. Kelly were linking up, because there was the Aaliyah allegations with R. Kelly, and then there were the Aaliyah photos and allegations of her being with Jay-Z, which Dame Dash confirmed that Jay-Z was interested in Aaliyah, but Aaliyah wasn't interested in him. She pulled a, yeah, you cool, but who's your mans over there on Jigga Man? And so the two of them collaborating together was side-eye worthy, but because we were so caught up in loving the music, we didn't pay any mind to anything else that was going on. So, of course, because of this, it caused me to go and pull into the records and dig up some things. And it seems that all of this started with the Best of Both Worlds tour. Now, the Best of Both Worlds was released on March 19th of 2002. See, it's so far back, I just be like getting my dates mixed up. But it was on March 19th of 2002 that they released the album, and they planned to go on tour. However, in June of 2002, R. Kelly was charged by a Chicago grand jury on 21 counts of child pornography following the leak of the infamous video of him tinkling on a minor. Now, don't make me laugh, because I couldn't think of another way to put that would be like appropriate for YouTube. So yeah, I came up with tinkle. Okay, so don't judge me and don't pick on me, but that's what he did. He tinkled on a minor. Okay. And that wasn't the only incident that occurred, because R. Kelly was also arrested in Miami with 12 counts of possession of child pornography, because he had photos of minors in a camera that was discovered during a raid of his house in Davenport, Florida. And they came across those videos and stuff on there. So he had that. That case was dismissed. And with the case being dismissed, they moved on. And in September 24th, 2004, which is 2 years later from 2002 when they released the Best of Both Worlds. They started the Best of Both Worlds, the album. And then they started the Best of Both Worlds tour. Now, y'all got to bear with me because I'm nervous. So this is the first time that I'm doing some journalistic work like this because I'm trying to take this a little bit more seriously on this channel. If y'all want gossip and all of that, y'all got to go to Straight Henny Media, which is right now the Circus Press Box. But let's get back into the story. So on September 24th of 2004, which is 2 years after the album was released, the tour began. And then 3 days later, October 26th is when they dropped strict unfinished business. I'm sorry. Let me breathe for a second. Hold on. I'm nervous as hell. Okay. I'm nervous as hell. All right. So they dropped unfinished business, but 3 days after the release of the album and while they were on tour, they were in Madison Square Garden. And that's where an incident occurred between Jay-Z and R. Kelly, where R. Kelly... It's always something. Sorry, guys. That's when R. Kelly accused breathe, Henny, breathe. Okay, hold on. Let me back it up. I'm going to have to do so much editing to this video, and I already see it coming, but y'all are getting it live and direct. Okay. So now while they were on tour on October 29th, there was an incident that happened at the Madison Square Garden performance that they were doing, where R. Kelly thought that he saw someone in the audience that had some, and he said there was 2 men. So he left off stage, and on his way back to perform, once it was discovered that nobody was in the audience with any, Ty from Jay-Z's crew maced R. Kelly. And so the next day, Jay-Z made a call to Hot 97, which is a New York radio, for those of you who don't know, is a New York radio station. And at the time, Angie Martinez was working for Hot 97. And that's where all of the celebrities used to come to dish all of the dirt, all the tea, all the hot goss that was going on. And that's how us here in New York found out a lot of information about what was going on the streets outside of Wendy Williams, because Wendy Williams was the gossip queen. But Angie Martinez sat down and got the stories from the horse's mouths. So he made a call up to the radio station and said that he wanted to talk to Angie so that he can explain his side of the story. And baby, that's exactly what him did. He called Angie and he appeared on the radio station with her and gave his 1-2 on what happened. And yes, I do have audio to that as well. Wait, but before we get into that, Jay-Z did receive some scrutiny. Oh, this is where I messed up at, guys. Jay-Z did receive some scrutiny and some pushback about him doing 2 albums with R. Kelly and even going on tour with him after having all of these allegations against him with the child pornography, with the video that had went very viral. People had questions like, why would you go out here and do an album with him and do a second album and do a tour with him? So Jay-Z sat down with Sway, and this is what Sway had to say about this, or what Jay-Z.
I know you mentioned the Best of Both Worlds with R. Kelly. Have you maintained any type of contact with R. Kelly since?
We spoke, like, you know what I'm saying? We spoke a couple of times, but I don't really want to be like, I know he's getting calls from everywhere, and some people are really concerned. Some people just want to be nosy. They want to know what's going on in the guy's life. I don't want to be another person like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, got love for the dude. I mean, if he's guilty, I just hope and pray that he get help. If he's not, I wish everybody, what I'm saying, everybody embrace him, and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But our contact is just sparse.
Okay. Were you, as a solo artist, were you concerned about that whole ordeal affecting you the next time you came out with this album?
I was not concerned for my career, like as far as an artist. I know, like, I mean, I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that. Like, I know I ain't have nothing to do with that. So,
He wasn't there. He ain't have nothing to do with that. But look at the look on his face. Look at the look on his face. You know something. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. If he looked down like that, it gives me he knew something that he wasn't saying, couldn't say, whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, everybody in the industry was aware of all of this dirt. Okay, they were aware of this prior to the video being leaked of him and the underage girl. Okay, so to me, he knows, but let's continue.
The alleged incident, you know what I'm saying? So
how you gonna say alleged? How you gonna say alleged when we all seen the video? I mean, that video was viral, okay? Not viral in the sense online, because we didn't have viral online. It was viral in real life, okay? I mean, every bootleg DVD man had it. Every barbershop had played it. People were watching it. It was watch parties that were going on with adults that were watching this video. And the thing is, I don't think any of us realized what we were watching was child pornography. We all wanted to see what happened. Even those of us who were underage and had no business looking at it, we wanted to see. But that went viral. So it ain't alleged.
It was just, I was more so, if the one word and one feeling that I could, I think about when I think about the album is just like blown opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what we did with the album, as far as like we was in the process of touring, like we was putting together a show, like 2 hours straight. Like you do 3 songs, run on stage. I'm gonna do 3 songs, run on stage.
Now you heard him say that when it came down to the case coming out and both of them, the Chicago and the Miami one coming out, that it was like blown opportunity for him. One thing about us Sages, do not fool with our money. Do not play with our money. Do not take an opportunity where we know that we're going to get a large sum of money. We're going to get to a bag and you mess that bag up and fumble that bag. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because it's not that we are, we're money motivated. Yes. But it's not that that's our all. But at the end of the day, like we like to have. You cannot put us in a situation where we can't have. And if you are the cause of that, baby, you better watch out. So if I was R. Kelly, man, listen, I'm going to reserve that.
Change the set. Yeah. Then we're going to come back and do Fiesta together. Then we're going to come do this one. Then, you know what I'm saying? It would have been something real creative. And that's the whole reason why that album came together was let's do something creative and know that nobody really done before, is bring these 2 genres of music together and make something really crazy. And
so that was what Jay-Z had to say as far as him going into this project with him. He feels like, we squandered an opportunity the first time to be able to get this tour going. Like we were setting this tour up for this album and boom, the opportunity was missed. So for him, it was about money. This was a money deal for him. You're going to run me my money. So we're going to do a part 2 and we're going to put out Strictly Business. And then we're going to go on tour for the best of both worlds. Because realistically, think about it, people. Who drops an album and then 2 years later they go on tour for the album? No, they had to wait for everything to kind of settle down for R. Kelly to be able to come back out and be accepted by the people. Because, at first, while there were those of us who was like, he's innocent. He's innocent. Even after seeing, well, he's innocent. We don't want you to take away the music. He's innocent. There were those that was like, They was trying to mute R. Kelly back then. Okay. So he had to wait for the smoke to clear. Let's really think about it. We had to wait for the smoke to clear, the dust to settle. Now we can go on tour for this and drop this album. Because remember, they dropped the tour. The first date of the tour was September 24th, 2004. That Best of Both Worlds album dropped in 2002. Then they went on tour right after that in October. So the following month, they were on tour for a 2-year-old album. Jay-Z was going to get his money back, okay? So that was the first lick back, if you ask me. because he said, you're going to run me my coin. Okay. Now, following all of this that did happen, like I said, they went on tour, and about a month or so later, the tour was dismantled. It came apart and fell apart because there was an incident that happened at Madison Square Garden where Ty maced R. Kelly. And Jay-Z went to go talk with Angie Martinez about what had happened while they was at the Garden. And this is what Jay-Z had to say about that. Y'all ready? Me and my screens together. Don't worry, we also got court docs. This is gonna be a good one.
He came out, he said,
first of all, this is Madison Square Garden, right? I mean, come on, New York City. Come on, anybody know Madison Square Garden? No.
Let me just say the people, there was, a lot of people were there, but there are definitely people listening that wasn't there. What happened when R. Kelly came out during the show and said, I want to tell New York, I love y'all, but there's people.
You don't love New York.
He said there's people.
You can't say that.
Let me tell you what happened.
I'm a little hyped.
I understand. I just want to keep everybody in the loop of what's happening.
Okay.
So straight off the bat, let's talk about it. Now, everybody has pride where they're from. People don't play about where they're from. And for an artist, when you're performing in your hometown and you got the whole city coming out, your ego is going to play. Come on now. Imagine me going on a tour, right? And I start my tour across the country or whatever. And then I come home to my hometown, to my city where I'm from. And it's big and it's sold out. And all of these people came here. And this is like New York pride at its finest. This is my hometown. And I got a special guest with me. And this special guest comes and they looking foolish out here. You're embarrassing me in front of my hometown. So that's what this is giving to me from Jay-Z. Like, you embarrassing me in my hometown, in my city, bro. Nah, we not having that. So Ty makes them, but let's hear what Jay-Z had to say.
I just want to tell y'all I love New York, but there's people in the crowd that got guns on me. And so, did he say something like this about to be a riot in here?
Yeah, whatever that was.
And it's not worth it.
It's foolery.
He dropped the mic and got off stage. About 5 minutes of straight black. No lights, no nothing.
So I'm in the back changing. I'm in the quick booth change. I'm going to give you the background scene. I'm in the quick booth changing. And I'm feeling like, again, I mean, come on. Man.
How'd you get word that did you hear him saying this? You know he was going to break out.
Now, he says again. Now, I'm going to give you a rundown of some of the things, and this is according to Entertainment Weekly. They did an article on November 12th of 2004 that year, and this is the rundown of all of the things. Let me show y'all that before we get back into this. Of all the things that are being alleged that R. Kelly had a hand in when it came down to this tour. So they're saying on August 19th, the rap solo duo announced the Best of Both Worlds tour, which is what No, they went on tour. They announced it, but they went on tour on the 24th, right? So the first incident happened in Cincinnati where the performance got canceled and the tour organizers cited that it was logistics and production concerns from the last night's show in Chicago. So there was an incident that happened at the Chicago show. And I believe Jay-Z is going to talk about that. On October 23rd, R. Kelly leaves the stage midway through St. Louis date after argument about lighting, spends the rest of the evening working the drive-thru at a nearby McDonald's. I think I remember that. In Milwaukee and Hartford, they canceled it due to what the tour spokesperson called technical difficulties. Okay. R. Kelly leaves the stage on October 29th in New York City's Madison Square Garden, which is what we're at right now. After announcing that 2 men in the audience were waving pow-pows at him. When no pow-pows were found, he returns but says he was attacked with pepper spray en route. After this incident, we'll get into that, what happened after, but let's get back into what was being discussed in the audio.
Yeah, I heard. It was when we do the show, it has a rhythm. So I'm like, wait a minute. Like, when you feel like for a second the music didn't drop, I'm like, what's going on? I asked the guy, Randy Bazzelli, what's happening? And I look through the thing and I see him in the front of the stage. But I can't hear what he's saying. I thought he was going for the lights move again. Yo, my lights is messed up again, you know. I thought he was going for that move again. I didn't know he said something as ridiculous as someone in the crowd is pointing the gun at him. That's Madison Square Garden. That's a world class. I mean, they're tough in the garden. You can't do what you want in the garden. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. No.
That's a fact. You can't come here and just do whatever you want to do at the Garden. Cause no. Thanks, guys, because I was stumbling and fumbling for a minute. I was very, very nervous. Thanks, guys. Actually, Jay-Z was not on the phone. Jay-Z was at the studio. He went up to the studio and sat with Angie Martinez to give this interview.
I don't want to put Puff out there, but he had a tough time getting backstage. This is a tough thing. You know, so imagine that you cannot get a gun in Madison Square Garden. Are you crazy? Like, does he know where he's at? This is the Garden. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So at what point because people gave him love when he was performing?
Yeah, but that's the problem. We even have good shows. But if I get love, like if people give me love, he has a problem with that. Like his ego cannot take that. That's just.
So now what's interesting is Jay-Z is saying that R. Kelly was jealous of him. But when we get into the lawsuit docs, you're going to see that R. Kelly is saying that Jay-Z was jealous of him. Interesting, right?
Have you tried to talk to him about it?
Of course. And I've talked to him like a real dude because he's not used to having real dudes. Like, yo, dude, you're ruining yourself. You know, I don't work for you, B. You know what I'm saying? I don't work for you, nor am I under you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a bad dude myself.
And what's his reaction to that? Like,
man, my lights. I said, no.
Did you hear what he said? I'm a bad dude myself.
It wasn't your lights. It was just because his first two shows was horrible. I was like, is your lineup, B? Change your lineup. And he changed the lineup when we started having good shows for a while, and then back into this.
Like that, just like as blunt like that, you told him?
Oh yeah, I'm a real dude. Yeah, I'm a real dude.
But did you tell him about the ego thing? Did you talk to him about that?
Yeah. I mean, this is my word.
Did he ever honestly say that?
Of course, he's not gonna say that. He's not gonna cop to that. This is my word. B. The best of both worlds is about you doing the best of what you do, and I do the best of what I do. You know?
Now, this comment I agree with, but I also feel like they like the young girls because young girls are easily to manipulate. When they're older men, there's that thing of power where this person holds power over you. There's also the prestige and influence that superstars hold. So I feel like that's one reason, but I feel like that's the other reason because they can easily manipulate them and coerce them into doing what it is that they want them to do or getting down and giving it up the way they want them to.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to try to outshine you or destroy you on stage. I'm here to do my part, the best of what I do. You're not going to have the same reaction as You Don't Know. You Don't Know is a high energy hip hop record. You know, it's a different dudes are singing that and jumping up and down. They're not doing that. They're not jumping up and down singing It Seems Like You Ready. They damn near singing out the corner of their mouth. Right. Like, you know, I'm embarrassed. I like this my joint, but
right.
Like, cool they're not going to be jumping up and down.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
So there's more to this that goes on, but there's a plot twist. Dun, dun, dun. Because guess what? I can play the whole thing. If y'all want me to play the whole thing, drop Henny Glasses down in the chat and I will play the whole thing for you. But for right now, if you don't want the whole thing, then I am going to skip around a bit. Okay. But what's interesting is while Jay-Z is on the radio giving this interview, R. Kelly calls in. And R. Kelly is listening. And he wants to come up and he has some things to say of his own. Okay, I'm seeing some Henny Glasses starting to go up. And I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to put the Henny Glasses in the chat. But let's go ahead. You know what? Let's just go ahead and let's continue and not cut it off so we get the full scope of things.
Unbelievable. I'm more disappointed than upset. I'm more disappointed at the whole thing.
From the outside, because, you know, I'm sure you have your own emotions and your own, but as somebody who was at the show, like when he did that, I almost felt like, first of all, it was disbelief from everybody that I was sitting there. It was disbelief.
Right.
And when you first came out and you did the first song, we wanted to rock with you, but we were still kind of not sure what the hell was going on. But by the second and third song, we forgot.
Yeah, and by the way, that was a bit like, and I heard.
Now you hear what she said from a crowd perspective. From a crowd perspective, at first they didn't know what was going on, but by the second or third song, they forgot all about whatever was happening in the beginning of the show. So if we're talking about first, second, and third songs, then we're talking about this incident happening in the beginning of the show. Now, I will say, as far as trying to get anything into the garden, that's definitely not going to happen. But that's not to say that it is impossible to happen, because anything is possible, and we all know that.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Like, I mean, you got a whole arena full of people that came to see both of us, and now I got to carry that whole weight. Like, that could have went out anyway. You put me out there. You put me out there too many times. It's just too many times. It's enough.
I have to say, I mean, you know, I love you. You know, I'm a Jay fan. But tonight, like, most people would have just fell apart in that kind of situation. And I mean,
shout out to Usher too, man. I mean, because he came, and he really just he just on call, like in 1 second.
No, I heard that he was.
I mean, we burnt this. We had the laptops.
Mm-hmm.
So we're burning CDs from laptops and
to put a show together for him.
So you do a show. And T.I. was backstage.
Was Mary supposed to come out, or was
no,
she was there?
I had Mary. Me and Mary was going to originally do the song, but we just extended it.
Ja Rule
was going to do a song with him. Me and Ja Rule hadn't.
Oh, he was going to do the R. Kelly show
before that,
because you guys weren't. I thought you guys weren't really in great terms.
We wasn't on the best of terms, but it's a mutual respect thing there. You know what I'm saying? And it was
like, it's not that serious.
It was a thing, right? It was a thing, and he's from New York. You know what I'm saying? And he's seen that it was a situation where, New York. I mean, he did his thing. He stepped out. I don't feel
claps tonight. I don't feel this is that kind of benefit.
Right.
This is too real for the sound.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I appreciate that.
And I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to be catty or anything like that. But I'm saying, like, you have people that's been holding their tickets months, and I'm not taking that anymore. I'm not gonna be the unprofessional guy. People in Cincinnati looking at me like these dudes ain't coming. I have nothing to do with it. Like I said, all I needed was a mic. Turn on the mic and whatever.
So what happens?
So he's basically speaking to there being a level of unprofessionalism that was going on R. Kelly's part. Now, I did read to you what Entertainment Weekly had to say about what was going on allegedly behind the scenes with each show. And it was rumored that there were lots of disappointments that were going on when it came down to this Best of Both Worlds tour.
After, like, what did he do after? He just broke out and left. Did you get a chance to see him or talk to him?
Of course, I didn't speak to him.
Did anybody try to change his mind? Did anybody try to tell him?
No, everybody's sick of chasing him and running behind him, and nobody's on his time. That's the problem. He has so many people around that just on his time and kiss up to him. And these guys even scared to talk to him. They don't even speak to this guy. They're ruining him. He's ruining himself. He's cocooned himself into a world where he's the biggest guy in the room all the time.
Didn't we hear this already, though? Isn't this something that Drea Kelly and a lot of other people were saying, how he's isolated and cocooned and all of that? So to me, it sounds like there was a little bit of dry snitching that was going on even back then. I'm just saying, that's what it sounded like to me. Like, he's saying nobody could talk to him, like he's isolated from it, and he's ruining himself, and it's crazy because we look at what happened now and we look at the downfall, and it's like, okay, I can kind of see a little bit about what may be adding some fuel to the allegations that are being set forth to him, because he's upset about this. You're saying that you're not going on the radio to be catty, yet you weren't invited to the radio. You called the radio to go up there. So if that's not catty, I don't know what catty is. And you put him on blast. Like, y'all was supposed to be working this out, but you put him on blast. But let's continue. We have a few more minutes to go with this. And then we're going to get into the R. Kelly. I really am not going to spend too much more time after this on these clips, because I do want to get to the court docs. I do want to get to that, because these court docs are old. They're decades old.
the time. You can't even speak to this guy.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so not healthy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, damn, Jay. So what's the? Oh man, damn. So what happens to like tomorrow's show and the show after that?
I could put a show together, B. I could try my best. I could do it by myself. Like I don't really need to do. Like it's up to New York. It's up to the people that bought their tickets and people that really want to see them. Make that decision if they want me to do the show by myself or they want to just get refunds for their.
Oh, they can get a refund.
Yeah.
So they were offering refunds for the show. Again, digging in the pockets. You done pissed off the Sag, and you digging in his pockets even more. And yeah, no, that's not gonna slide. Now, the audio that I do have that I was able to find of the R. Kelly version of what happened is very staticky. I have to let you know that ahead of time. It is very staticky. It may be, I'm going to try to put the closed captions on to see if maybe you guys can hear some of what was being said. But after Jay-Z's interview was over with Angie Martinez, Angie had R. Kelly up there. Now, if that's not messy, I don't know what messy is, but it was a good kind of messy because we loved that messy. This is R. Kelly.
Well, what happened is when, keep it naked and keep it the truth. Jay, because for one,
you got sprayed before you left or after you left?
This was when I was going back on the stage performing.
Wait a minute. You got sprayed before you got on stage?
No, I was going back on stage to perform the night after I had left off stage. Let me just. Is it any way we can just cut my music, please?
Oh yeah,
I'm starting to hear music.
Yeah, turn it off. It's all good. Whatever you need.
Thanks.
Now you'll have to read some of the what they call closed captions, because this is hard to hear, as you can hear. No, you don't need to yell it. I seen it. I'm in a zone. I'm trying to get information out. I'm already nervous. I just need to get what I got to get out first. Okay.
I know this is a touchy. I know this is a big deal and a very crazy situation. So,
it's all good. It's not that big. The situation is this. First of all, before anything, I know you guys may not want to hear this, but I apologize to New York and I apologize to my fans for the show going left the way it did tonight. That was certainly not my intentions to make the show go left.
Mm-hmm.
I love performing. I don't care who I perform with. Yeah. I'm very secure in who I am. I've been in this for 15 years.
Yeah.
So he's saying he apologized to New York, and then he's letting it be known that he's very secure. He's very secure in who he is. So therefore, there's no need for him to be jealous of anything that Jay-Z got going on. Like, this is crazy. But y'all, let's continue.
And I'm still successful at it. I feel at the top of my game. I feel real good about that. I have no incentive. I have no motive, no reason whatsoever to be, first of all, jealous of Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of Jay's. I'm going to always be a fan of Jay's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very positive person. Anybody hear my music, they know that.
So he's saying he's a fan of Jay-Z. Can y'all hear it, or is it a little too staticky? Because I don't mind pausing it to tell you what he's saying. I just want to know how it's sounding on your end, the quality of sound, because there's that noise in the background. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's rain, maybe it's static. I have no idea. But he's basically saying, like, I'm a fan of his. I have no need to be jealous of him. But he's saying he's a very positive person, and anyone that listens to his music, man, listen, looking at it in hindsight, I'm sorry, y'all know I giggle at inappropriate things and things that just don't make sense. And this makes no sense, but let's listen.
I'm not worried about Jay-Z on stage, or Kelly on stage, him doing better than me. There's no way that Jay-Z can do better than me. There's no way that I can do better than Jay, because for one, Jay is like a tennis player, I'm like a golf player. And we're both at the top of our games. That's what makes up the best of both worlds in the first place. There's no way that there can be any type of competing for my end with Jay-Z, because I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Some shows I've ripped, some shows Jay's ripped. I expected what I expected here because this is his home. That's the way it's supposed to go. You know, Michael Jordan, back home, the same thing, you know. 99 and a half point whatever's left of my shows at home, it's the same way. On my phone side.
Somebody please with the phones. Oh, that's your phone.
Well,
okay.
So what they're saying is, what he's saying is he expected the crowd to like kind of favor Jay-Z because he's home, which is true. And so he wasn't offended by or bothered by any of that was happening on stage when it came down to Jay-Z. So it's the same thing that's going to happen when he goes home, which is to be expected. Like, you know, hometown artists come home, we show out for the hometown artists. You could be somebody that we love, but you in our city and you from our city, we're going to definitely, and that's any city that you go to. So when I say you in our city, I'm talking about all of us. You have an artist come home and perform, you're going to go crazy for that artist. You're going to go crazy for the artists that you love as well that come out on the stage, you know, if that's your favorite artist. But the hometown team, people always going to show out for the hometown. So to think that that would even be a part of the argument is just asinine to me.
My phone's blowing up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I ain't answering it. It's just because, you know, people, when you answer the phone, ain't none but people that's going to just add negative drama to it. I like to keep it naked and keep it the truth. Doing this whole tour, Jay's been turning out a lot of shows, but I've been turning out a lot of shows. You know, it just depends on what your market is. Everybody know that. But tonight had absolutely nothing to do with Jay's getting a better response, because I said earlier, I expected it. He's at home, and I know what Jay, I'm 15 years deep in the business. I know what Jay is at home,
right.
You know. But with this show, when we first came out, as you said, I heard you earlier, you know, and you were saying we was rocking and everything. I mean, Mary said that everything was rocking, and she was right. It was jumping off, you know.
Nobody from the crowd, we couldn't tell there was any kind of problem coming.
So R. Kelly is from Chicago. He's not from Detroit. He's from Chicago, Illinois, and Jay-Z is from New York. He's from Brooklyn, New York.
Or that even when you left, I didn't, like, I was like, what did he say?
Right.
What happened?
Exactly.
We didn't understand it.
We didn't understand it. Right. If you guys just, you know, you guys here and all my fans out there is listening, if you guys just take a minute, just a second, and go back 15 years, I have never just stopped a show. I don't care who I've been on the stage with. It may not be the best of both worlds, but I've been on stage with many of people.
Right.
And I've seen artists come out and get way more response than me on some shows. But I'm not about competing with people. I love music, and I love doing what I do.
So what happened?
Well, what happened is when I came out, first of all, I was threatened earlier prior to that, you know. Don't come with Madison Square Garden. Now, this ain't my first time being threatened. You know, I've been threatened before.
What do you mean threatened, on the phone? Or?
Yeah, on the phone. Yeah, on the phone. And I've never been, you know, scared of anything but God. You know what I'm saying? So I came anyway. And but I did let my people know, I let my lawyers know, I let my business manager know, and a couple of people that's close to me that I had gotten threatened. What you think I should do?
Was this an anonymous threat, or was this somebody that you know?
It was a private call on my phone.
No.
So R. Kelly is saying that he was being threatened, that he was receiving threatening phone calls on his phone. They're anonymous threats. He doesn't know where they're coming from. but there were threats. So I would say it's safe to say that R. Kelly during that tour was operating from a space of paranoia, triggered by these phone calls of threats, triggered by the guilt. Let me shut up. Let me keep my... No, I'm going to say it. This is my show. Triggered by the fact that he was guilty of the things that he was guilty of. Period. There, I said it. Allegedly. No, it's not alleged because it's in court docs, and he's sitting in jail right now for that. So it's not alleged.
Nobody that you knew just don't come to the garden. Nobody that I knew. Something's going to be anytime I've been threatened on the phone, I didn't know who it was, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it happened, but I came anyway because I really wanted this show to happen just like Jay, just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. But I don't know who Jay travels with. I travel with 3 kids of mine. 3 kids. I got a wife out here with me. You know what I'm saying? And they were with me. They at the show. But they come out on happy people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And doing me and Jay's part, I saw a guy looking real hard at me. You know what I'm saying? And I said, okay, it's New York. It's hard. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? But I went back to the left, came right back to the right, and during that time, dude opened up his coat. I can't say the guy had a gun. I'm not going to lie on anybody. I don't know if he had a gun, but when he made the movement to open up his coat, I saw something. I don't know what I saw. It's like 6 row, whatever. That's what happened. I bypassed it. I didn't worry about it. But when I went backstage, after Jay came out, I went back to change so I could come out for my segment. I asked my wardrobe. I told my wardrobe lady what had happened. And I asked her, what do you think I should do? You think I should, because I don't want nobody thinking that it's going to be some more drama, anything like that. But she told me I should just let security know or whatever. That time I was talking to her and changing. Between talking to her and changing, I got back out. It was my time to go back out for ignition. I came back out for ignition. The guy wasn't there. I had told my guy John to go around and see if he had saw the guy. John said he actually remember a guy sitting like maybe 5th or 6th row. So he ran out there, but he said the guy wasn't there. I came out and I didn't see the guy either. But as I'm performing now, I'm really into the crowd, like really looking in the crowd. I see another guy in the bleachers doing the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my French, but I saw another guy. You saw him from the bleachers? There was another guy in the bleachers to my right doing the same thing. Maybe.
So now he's saying that there was somebody that was in the crowd that had on a coat, that opened up their coat. He couldn't see what it was, but he's been receiving these threats telling him not to come to the garden and all of that. So now this guy opens up his coat. You know, he tries to pay it no mind, but he lets security know. They say they don't see him anymore. So he goes back out. He's performing, and boom, up in the bleachers to his right, he's saying he sees another guy doing the same thing. So now to him, that's 2 people doing the same motion with all of these threats that are going on with him. And now he's thinking that there's 2 people in the garden with pow-pows after him.
We all rolls up on, you know, the bleachers that go up. So another guy.
Is that when you said, is that your girl, homie? Like right around that?
No. This when I was like, around the time when I was singing, the first time was around the time when I was singing, what's the song, A Woman's Fed Up. When I said, calling Tyrone. Yeah, you know, I never do that. If anybody know my show, I usually let the audience sing it. And they'll usually say, calling Tyrone. But my fans know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I sang that part tonight for the first time ever, because I know it's a part you let the crowd sing. But the reason I sang it because at that point I was nervous as hell. And I was, you know, struggling for my words. It got quiet a few times on my segment because things that I was supposed to say, I couldn't say because I'm now worried about my back, you know, or my front, you know what I'm saying? So at this point, the second time it happened, the segment was almost over. I went backstage, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I was crying, I was upset, I was pissed off, and I called my production manager, Chris. He called Joe McDavid, which is my business manager. I told him what was going on. They sent security out, this, that, and the other. And by the time I got through crying and going through all the whole thing with them and snapping, man, you know, they's telling me, you know, it'll be cool. I said, no, it ain't cool unless y'all go find that guy. You know what I'm saying? Or find those guys or whatever. After that,
So now he's saying that he's telling security, I'm not going back out there until you get those people that I seen in the crowd to come back, you know, to get them out of here, and then I can come back. So this is something that he's actually taking very seriously. He's really in a state of paranoia. Like, he really thinks he's seeing people in that crowd. We can't say whether or not that's what he saw. We weren't there, so we don't know what really happened. But this is his account of what happened.
I went back on stage out of being desperate because Jay had just came off and the crowd was just sitting there. So I snatched the mic back. I went out there. I was crying. I was upset. And I simply told my fans, I love them and I thank them for supporting R. Kelly. But we're in a situation with something like that where, you know, somebody flashed some guns at me. And at this point, I'm thinking.
Did you say something? Was that the whole thing you said? Did you say something about, I think there's going to be a riot, or I think people are going to run up out of here or something like that?
I ain't say nothing like that. No? Don't even make sense.
Okay.
I ain't say nothing like that.
Something like people going to run out of here?
I said, I love my fans. I said, I hope y'all are still my fans after I say what I got to say. I was trying to get security to come out here and say it, but, you know, I decided to do it myself because I wanted them to hear from the horse's mouth.
Now, Sunrise, Kelly the Monster, but he's not in any of Diddy's videos, not a single one. He is. They have a song together. I don't know which videos you're talking about, if you're talking about the freak off videos or not, but if you're talking about music videos, they are together. They do have a song together, and that actually happens to be one of the songs that I love, that I just can't let go. But they do have music that they have done together. But yeah, so now he's saying he went out there to the crowd. He announced to the crowd that, hey, listen, I seen this, I did this, which I think that was not a smart move on his behalf to let the crowd know that, because now you're going to start a possible state of paranoia. People may start to run up out of there. That's something that he should have just let security know and dealt with the situation. But going and letting the crowd know, and I wouldn't have done that.
This is what I saw. Now, this ain't the first time I've been in an audience when somebody made a messed up gesture at me or whatever. Back in the past, it's happened. You know, in my last show, sometimes, depending on what city, whatever, it has happened. But it's just that I had got a call prior to that earlier today. And then for me to get here, and then this happened, then I became nervous as hell. At this point, I'm thinking about my safety. I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about my wife, and I'm thinking about just, you know.
What about, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, General, but I'm just curious, because I know there was other shows that Jay was saying when he was here, you heard it, that you left. There was like 4 or 5 shows that you left, and he felt, I guess, because it was for the same issues that he believed it was for this one. I mean, what was the case in the other shows?
The other case in the other shows, it wasn't 4 or 5 shows long. Let me just I was just at the end of this.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
I can be here till the morning.
So we're gonna let him get the story out.
What happened at that point in time, I was concerned about my safety, and I was concerned about my kids and my wife. You know what I'm saying? So I went to the dressing room after I made that announcement and apologized to everybody, but let them know what was happening. Went to my dressing room, and then by that time, the New York police came and they asked me what happened. I told them what had happened. So they locked my door, just told me, just hold on, just chill for a minute until we can, you know, shoot the place and see. We could see those guys. At that time, I asked them, had they checked, all my people really was asking them, had they checked the place? Had they checked everybody? And they said they did. You know, they checked all the guys coming in and everything, but they didn't check all of the girls. They checked most of them. They didn't check all of them, you know. And at this point, I became even more concerned, you know what I'm saying? Because anybody, let's be real, can carry a weapon. I know where I come from. Guys can give their girls a weapon and bring it in, whatever.
That's true.
I don't know. Did I ever see a gun? No, I didn't. Did I see somebody just like they had a gun? Twice. And that I became concerned about my safety. So at that point in time, lawyers was back there, everybody, because just like Jay or anybody else at this point, your lawyers and everybody else going to be concerned about your well-being and notify the cops or whatever. I was done for tonight. I was done. But when Jeff Sharp, which is the promoter of the tour, came back there and told me that everything was cool, we're going to get the police out here. It's 140-some police. They called more. They're going to get them out there and sweep the place and make sure that everything is cool. And if they do that, would you feel comfortable about going back out? And I said, well, do that. They did that, and they came back, which is plenty enough time for me to go and perform. And they did. They came back. They said everything was cool. They got cops all out there.
When you say sweep the place,
you know, just to go out there and look for the guys, see if they see anybody, and then just place them in a, you know, in a certain area where, you know, if anything do jump off, they all over the place.
Right.
They all own it. You know.
So the cops went out there.
Now, here's the thing about that. In the middle of a concert, he had them do a sweep. Okay, so they swept the place to see if everything was kosher and copacetic, if the guys were gone.
You're backstage. I just want to get clear.
Yeah.
So you made your announcement that you believe that there was people out there with guns waving at you. Then you went backstage, and then the cops went out to kind of secure the area more, just kind of and check. All right. So then go ahead. I'm sorry.
Then they came back and you know, they got a lot of cops out there now. Everything should be cool, even though I said to myself, but y'all ain't going to be walking around on stage with me. I said that to myself. But I thought about my fans. I thought about radio stations. I thought about what everybody was going to say. I thought about what could possibly go down. And I said to myself, if something's going to happen to me, it's going to happen while I'm doing my work. That's what I said to myself.
So you plan to go back out?
I didn't plan. Jeff Sharp was on his way to make a statement because I told him I'm going back out. I still had my earphones on. Still, even now, still got my what you call it, battery pack.
We still have his battery pack on.
Okay, so let me correct that. This happened the night of the concert.
I put my backpack on and my mic and everything like that. So we on the way back to the stage. At this point, it's me, Ja Rule, you know, okay, we're on the way back to the stage, you know what I'm saying, and going up the stairs to go on stage, I was told, don't come up on the stage, whatever, and then people start pepper cans in my eyes.
Just from where? From the crowd or from backstage?
Backstage.
So now he's saying he's trying to go back up to the stage to perform. He's being told not to go back on stage, and he gets pepper sprayed. Now, he does not mention who pepper sprayed him, but it later comes out that it was Tata that sprayed.
And I can't get no names who that is right now.
Oh, but you know who it is. You know who it was. It's somebody that you know.
Yeah.
Somebody that was upset maybe that you didn't finish your show tonight.
Well, I can't say I didn't finish it.
But at that point, they assumed probably that you were not going to finish the show and was upset.
It doesn't deserve pepper spray in the eye or the face or none of that. It doesn't deserve violence at all. Because that's not what we out here for. We out here to perform. We out here having things happen. There's been times on the show, Jay had, in the middle of the show, Jay had changed songs, no problem. Jay had left the show, said he had something he had to do. We cut the show short. I came out and I announced to the people that it's all good. Made them look good, made me look good, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about to me. That's what it'll be about tomorrow, whatever.
So now, if y'all sat through that, y'all are the real MVPs, and I thank y'all because I know that was a little difficult to sit through because of all the static. It can be very distracting to hear, but that's the story of what happened at Madison Square Garden. Okay. We heard Jay-Z's side of it. We've heard, and we didn't hear the full thing. I can do a video on the full audio if you guys want, but basically that's the gist of it. And so from there, it comes out shortly after that R. Kelly sued Jay-Z. Okay. And he sued Jay-Z for $75 million. However, upon digging and finding the court docs, because you know we got the court docs, right? Shout out to Henny Legal, yo. I swear to God. So shout out to my legals, because baby, getting these docs was not easy. Okay, just so you know, because you are talking about court docs that are, these court docs are from 2024. And oftentimes it's very hard to find court docs from that long ago. So we found the court docs, and it appears that there was someone filed this lawsuit on behalf of R. Kelly, and it is Base Productions LTD and Best of Both Worlds, the Tour Ltd, that's suing Sean Carter in this lawsuit. Okay. Now, 2004, not 24, excuse me, 2004. I got to keep remembering that we are back in the day right now. We are not current day 2004, 2004. And this happened 20 years ago, 20 years ago. Okay. So we're going to get ourselves comfy. Okay. Because you know how we like to do. We like to get comfortable when we're over here and we're about to get into these court docs. Y'all get those likes up, okay? Get the likes up, please, and thank you. So now we're going to put the court doc up on the screen. Let me go ahead. Let me get my watermark up because, yeah. Before we get into the court docs, though, I am going to drop the link. Someone wanted to come up. I'm only going to allow that one person up, and it's going to be brief because I have to get into these court docs. But I'm going to put the link down in the chat so that they could come up if they're still here. So, yes, these are the court docs that we are going to get into. All right. And while we wait, yes, this is live. She said, "Oh, this is live." Yes, it's live. I'm trying to. Okay, so we're going to get into the summary of allegations really quickly. So again, like I said, this is Base Productions Ltd and Best of Both Worlds, the Tour Ltd, against Sean Carter, personally known as Jay-Z, Marcy Projects Productions Inc., Atlanta Worldwide Touring LLC, and Atlanta Worldwide Touring Company. Okay, the summary of allegations is: 1, this complaint concerns the intentional efforts. It's all right, Joel. Let me put my glasses on. We got the glasses on. All right. The intentional efforts of rap music performer Sean Carter, personally known as Jay-Z here and after Jay-Z, to sabotage the carefully negotiated and binding performance agreement between concert promoter Atlanta Worldwide Touring LLC and rhythm and blues megastar Robert Kelly, known as R. Kelly afterwards. The historic and highly anticipated tour quickly turned into a nightmare as Jay-Z and his associates, motivated by spite and jealousy, not only failed to perform their obligations under the relevant agreements, but also engaged in conduct intentionally designed to exclude R. Kelly from the tour, including threats and acts of violence. As a result of Jay-Z's conduct, R. Kelly has been excluded from certain past tour performances and will be excluded from the further performances as well. Such conduct amounts to breach of contract by the concert promoter and tortious interference with that contract by Jay-Z and his business entities. So now what we did not discuss is the fact that Jay-Z did continue that tour and invite people onto it, and it was no longer the Best of Both Worlds tour, to my understanding. Okay, so now let's continue. They go into the parties, but you know what we want to get to. Jurisdictional allegations. Defendant Jay-Z is subject to the jurisdiction of this court because he has conducted systematic and continuous business in the state of New York and has engaged in conduct in the state of New York or directed at the state of New York, which gives rise to the instance causes of actions against him. Defendant Marcy Project, they're getting into all of that, but I wanted to read that part. Now let's get into these factual allegations. All right. This action arises out of the breach of contract dated July 28th of 2004 between Atlantic Worldwide and Base Productions, the performance agreement hereafter, pursuant to the contract. R. Kelly was to perform with rap music artist Jay-Z on a minimum of 40 concerts. Nationwide tour entitled the Best of Both Worlds Tour, beginning on or about October 1st of 2004. Now, it says October 1st of 2004. However, their first date for this show, so that isn't accurate because the first date for this show was September 24th of 2004, and that was in Roseland, if I'm not mistaken. I can Google that when we get done with this, but anyway, and ending November 28th of 2004. Subsequently, the parties agreed to assign Base Productions' interest in the performance agreement to Best of Both Worlds Ltd. and an entity formed by R. Kelly for that purpose. So that's R. Kelly's company that is Best of Both Worlds. Okay, for ease of reference, Base Productions and Best of Both Worlds Ltd are referred to hereafter collectively as Base Productions. R. Kelly is the most successful rhythm and blues singer and songwriter of his time. Now you could tell that this is a very biased lawsuit to him. He has recorded multiple albums which have sold tens of millions of copies. As part of a 2023 concert tour, R. Kelly performed to a sold-out audience in Madison Square Garden, New York. So that's giving you a little bit of history as to who is this? As to R. Kelly already being privy to performing in Madison Square Garden. Okay, I'm going to let Diamond up really quickly. Diamond has something he would like to share. Hey, Diamond.
Hey, Henny.
What's going on?
First and foremost, girl, you smoking this morning. You doing your shit. You doing your thing.
Thank you. What you want to say?
Yeah, but you know, I wanted to reiterate what you were saying when you first started. Tata, nothing he does is without the blessings of Jay-Z. You got to remember that.
Right.
You know, and remember, he's the same one that snatched the video camera from Dame Dash and started that little riff. And he's the one that hit R. Kelly with the bear spray, with the bass, with the pepper spray.
Right.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, it all boiled down to Aaliyah. They were all feuding over Aaliyah. You know.
Well, I kind of hadn't gotten to that conclusion yet. We didn't reach that question already.
Hey, look, I'm gonna chill backstage, keep smoking. Go ahead and keep reading. You on fire, girl. I love it.
Thank you. All right, so let's get back into the court doc. All right, so under the terms of the performance agreement with Atlanta Worldwide, R. Kelly was to receive 100% co-headline billing with Jay-Z with a multi-million-dollar compensation structure set forth therein. Marcy Productions contracted independently with Atlantic Atlanta worldwide for Jay-Z's performance for the tour. Jay-Z earned compensation considerably less than that earned by R. Kelly for the tour, and Jay-Z and his business manager, John Mulaney, acknowledged that R. Kelly had secured a superior profit split for his performance because R. Kelly was capable of earning millions of dollars more by touring without Jay-Z, specifically pursuant to the agreement agreed by Atlanta Worldwide and by the performers. R. Kelly was granted 60% of the first $15 million in guarantees. All right, y'all. So now here we go. We get into the nitty-gritty of some things. Remember, we're looking for the lick back. We're looking for the lick back that Jaguar was talking about. And it looks like we get into the meat and potatoes of the lick back. So all that fluff, everything that was going on that was just said, why Tata would actually mace him and stop him from going up on the stage, all of that stuff. This right here is a legal document that was filed in New York State. And it's basically stating that Jay-Z and R. Kelly, what he's saying, are not equal. Okay, that R. Kelly was the more superior performer because he could pack out concerts more than Jay-Z could, that he had more earning potential than Jay-Z did, and therefore he was getting a 60% stipend. He was getting paid more than Jay-Z. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, to me, we could close this case out right now, but I know y'all nosy like me. So we're going to keep reading and pouring this Henny. But that right there, oh, yeah. Yeah. And if he's not on the tour anymore, he said he's alleging that the threats and stuff, he's getting threats and acts of violence from Jay-Z. So now, is he insinuating that Jay-Z put those people into place? I don't know, but I'm spinning right now. Y'all put them tornadoes because I'm going to start spinning in a minute. All right. So if Jay-Z can get R. Kelly off the tour, then Jay-Z can secure the whole bag for himself. Do y'all see the chess, not checkers? I do. Anyway, the parties, including Bass Productions and Marcy Projects, agreed that persons associated with Jay-Z would be responsible for concert lighting. Boom. What did they have an issue with? They had an issue while they was on tour saying that the lighting wasn't right, and R. Kelly walked off the stage or got into that stage, that lighting, got into it with the lighting director. But this is Jay-Z's peoples that was responsible for the lighting. Let me see if y'all are picking up over here. Drop some Henny glasses in the chat if y'all picking up what I'm pouring out, okay? Rehearsals for the tour began September of 2004. See, I said 4, y'all. Almost immediately, problems developed in the direction and execution of the lighting of R. Kelly on stage, for which persons associated with Jay-Z were responsible. It was apparent that while the lighting for Jay-Z as he appeared and performed on stage was consistent with his status as a headliner in terms of its brightness, energy, the lighting of R. Kelly was by comparison lackluster when consultation with the aforementioned lighting people failed to recertify the problem, or rectify the problem. R. Kelly was forced to hire his own lighting expert to confer with them. The first show on the tour took place in Chicago of September 29th and 30th. Now pause, because in the beginning they said, well, I guess that is around, because they said on or around. So we'll let it slide. All right. On September 29th and 30th of 2004, during the first Chicago tour, critical lighting cues were missed, forcing R. Kelly to stay up all night in order to completely reprogram the staging of the show himself. As a result, he got to the second Chicago show 2.5 hours late, forcing cancellation of R. Kelly's performance in Cincinnati on October 1st. Look, are we picking up what's pouring out? The technical problems persisted, leading R. Kelly and his staff to suspect that Jay-Z's lighting director was sabotaging R. Kelly's performance. On October 23rd, R. Kelly had to leave the stage during a performance in St. Louis and directly instructed the lighting director after cues the director had performed competently during the 2-hour rehearsal were inexplicably fumbled. So now they done had a 2-hour rehearsal. We done had somebody come in here. I done set up these lights myself, and we did a 2-hour rehearsal, and you had it all on point, but now it's showtime, and you fumbling the doggone bag. On October 17th of 2004, Jay-Z left a performance early in Memphis, Tennessee, due to what Jay-Z described as an emergency. R. Kelly finished the show on his own, and in reality, Jay-Z had left the performance early in order to attend the birthday party of singer Raymond Usher, an artist known as Usher, which is true because there's photographs of Jay-Z at that party when he was supposed to be up there performing. He decided he wanted to go to the party. On October 28th of 2004, R. Kelly's performance at the Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, New York was appropriately lit because lighting people hired by R. Kelly handled and executed without error. On October 29th of 2004, R. Kelly appeared for the first of 2 tour performances scheduled at Madison Square Garden. When he arrived on stage, he noticed a male in the audience open his coat, exposing a dark object that he thought could be a R. Kelly retreated to his dressing room, where after weighing the risk of the continuing to perform against the downside of disappointing his fans, he decided to resume his performance. When he returned, however, he noticed another male in the stands to his right, also opening his coat in the same manner as the first man he saw. He thereupon returned to his dressing room and decided to end his performance. He briefly reappeared on stage, where he told the audience that because he believed he was being menaced, he would have to stop performing for the night. The police were called. Responding detectives reported that Darrell McDavid, R. Kelly's business manager, that their inspection of the audience had turned up nothing, but that not everyone in the crowd had been searched when they entered. Following the police investigation, R. Kelly decided to resume performing. Jeff Sharp, president and chairman of Atlanta Worldwide, the promoter, told associates of Jay-Z that R. Kelly was coming back out. After putting on his microphone pack and ear speakers, R. Kelly walked onto the stairs leading to the stage. Jeff Shannon from here on out, one of R. Kelly's bodyguards that night, accompanied R. Kelly to the stairs leading to the stage, but consistent with R. Kelly's regular practice and expressed wishes, allowed him to ascend the stairs alone. When R. Kelly ascended the stairs, he encountered Tyron Smith, aka Tyran, whatever, Ty. They said Tay-Tay. It's Ty. I knew it was Ty. An associate of Jay-Z, without any provocation by R. Kelly, Ty sprayed R. Kelly and several members of his entourage in the eyes and face with mace or pepper spray. Soon after, Shannon, who was watching unfamiliar faces nearby, noticed a commotion, then saw R. Kelly holding his eyes. Shannon then saw Ty at the scene holding a can of mace or pepper spray. R. Kelly and several members of his entourage thereafter went to the hospital, where they were treated for resulting injuries to their eyes and prescribed medication. On information and belief, Ty acted on instructions and authorization of Jay-Z and Marcy Projects. Okay. The next day, Saturday, October 30th, 2004, R. Kelly's business manager, Darrell McDavid, and R. Kelly's agent, Jeff Fasco, had one or more conversations with defendant Atlanta Worldwide principal Jeff Sharp. During the conversation or conversations, Plaintiff Base Productions, through Fasco, informed Sharp that R. Kelly was ready, willing, and able to perform at all further scheduled performances for the tour, including that night's performance at Madison Square Garden. A statement that R. Kelly personally repeated publicly. Okay, he said he was going to keep performing. Defendant Atlanta Worldwide, through Sharp, informed R. Kelly's representatives the following: the Best of Both World tours has conceived and headlined was canceled. 2, that the tour's remaining performances would be held as a tour of Jay-Z and friends. Remember, I told y'all it changed. 3, that Jay-Z had insisted to Sharp that R. Kelly be prevented from performing in the remainder of the tour, that R. Kelly would not be permitted to perform with Jay-Z for the remaining performances previously scheduled for the tour. 5, that the venue for the next scheduled tour date, Madison Square Garden, had banned R. Kelly and his representatives from the premises. And 6, that if R. Kelly attempted to appear at Madison Square Garden for the tour, he would be physically excluded from the premises. Are y'all picking this up? Are y'all catching this, Henny? Because, baby, this is some dirty, nasty work right here. This is some dirty, nasty work right here. But what did I say? If you can get R. Kelly, if he could get R. Kelly off the tour, right? Who gets 100% of the headline? And if somebody is coming on the tour as a guest, guess what? They can get whatever percentage he decides he wants to give them because they just came on as a special guest. Or if he even has to pay them at all. Because it's not a contractual agreement like it was with R. Kelly. So he wasn't going to sit back and eat that somebody was going to get more money than him. That's how I'm reading this. And I don't care. People may not like that. That's my perception of things, but this is my perception of it. And damn it, I stand on it. I'm going to stand on my square. That same day, representatives of Madison Square Garden informed R. Kelly's representatives that Madison Square Garden's sole agreement was with the concert promoter Atlanta Worldwide regarding future tour performances. On October 30th, through Jay-Z's business manager, John McNally, Jay-Z and Mercy Projects informed R. Kelly's production manager that R. Kelly's wardrobe staff would be evicted from Madison Square Garden if they did not voluntarily leave and remove all of R. Kelly's wardrobe materials from the premises. That same day, R. Kelly's wardrobe staff, then waiting at Madison Square Garden in anticipation of the night's performance there, was informed by representatives or associates of Jay-Z that they were to leave the premises immediately. Having learned of Jay-Z's associates' violent acts against R. Kelly, the previous evening, R. Kelly's wardrobe staff complied with the demand, collected R. Kelly's wardrobe materials, and left the premises. Despite demands from R. Kelly and Bass Productions representatives, the defendants have persisted in their position that the tour is canceled and arranged the exclusion of R. Kelly from all forthcoming tour performances. So this is R. Kelly's case, okay, against Jay-Z. Now, the crazy thing about all of this, right, is that Jay-Z, now, if you look at this, they were asking for the amounts of $15 million in compensatory damages and at least $60 million in punitive damages as to the third cause of action, which is a part of the case, which totaled to the $75 million suit that R. Kelly brought against him, okay? So, news of this hits, right? And shockwaves go out that R. Kelly is suing Jay-Z. But do you know what happens next? Child. Now, we don't have the whole lawsuit for this, but Jay-Z counterclaims against him. He countersues him. And the crazy thing about Jay-Z's case, y'all ready? While we were able to pull up all of R. Kelly's court documents, for whatever reason, Jay-Z's court documents, they're blocked. We were only able to pull out of the court system 108 from count 100 or line 108. So that leads me to believe that Jay-Z must have had the first half of that sealed off. And that is why we can't get it, ladies and gentlemen. So, We're going to read from line 108 down, baby, because there's still a whole lot of messiness. So let's pour the Henny on Jay-Z's countersuit that we have, and we will continue. So, counterclaims against the plaintiff. This countersuit is commenced by the Marcy parties to recover damages against plaintiffs for tortious interference with contract and fraudulent inducement necessitated by R. Kelly's flagrant and unjust misconduct, as well as his repeated hysterics or hysterics. I don't know what that word is. Anyway, both before and during the tour. R. Kelly's material defaults and unsafe and unpredictable behavior, examples of which are recounted below, destroyed the tour and forced Jeff Sharp of Atlanta Worldwide, which he will be referred to as the promoter from here on out, and the Marcy parties to attempt to mitigate their damages by pursuing a new concert tour involving Jay-Z and an all-star cast of hip-hop artists and musical acts. Now, in his countersuit, he's not denying, ladies and gentlemen, that he continued that tour. In fact, in a legal document, because once you file something with the court system, it becomes a legal document. In a legal document, he's admitting, yes, we continued the tour and renamed it. And we named it Jay-Z and Friends. Took you off the tour. Baby, big bank, take little bank. God damn. R. Kelly's material defaults and unsafe and unpredictable behavior, examples of which are recounted below. Okay, we already said that. All right, we already read this part. So Jay-Z is a celebrated recording artist and performer who has sold millions of records. He has been awarded the most coveted accolades in the music business, including the Grammy, MTV, Source, Billboard, BET, Soul Train Awards. Jay-Z's success as a musical artist arises in part from a combination of artistic credibility and broad commercial appeal. For almost a decade, Jay-Z has toured extensively throughout the world, performing in live concert before sold-out crowds. Okay, so this is a my peen is bigger than your peen type of. This is a tinkle contest right now. You hear it? The tinkle contest. That's what we're going to call it. Because R. Kelly's lawsuit said R. Kelly's lawsuit is claiming that he is the bigger megastar, while Jay-Z's claim is claiming that he's a big star too. So it's a tinkle contest. But let's continue. Stop it, Henny. Jay-Z also is an internationally respected entrepreneur. He is the co-founder of Rockefeller Records, which includes a roster of popular artists and producers such as Beanie Sigel, Cameron, M.O.P., Just Blaze, and Kanye West. His successes also include part ownership of the Rocawear clothing line, all of which he snatched from Dame Dash. But we're not going to go there because that's a different case. The diversity and magnitude of Jay-Z's built-in fan base has made Rocawear a highly successful apparel company with a broad demographic base. Lies and deceit. I'm sorry. I never saw anybody outside of the hood rocking Rocawear, and I didn't see that many people rocking Rocawear at the time. Just like a lot of people, some people rocked Sean John and some people did not. You know what we was wearing in the hood in New York? We was wearing Pele, okay? We was wearing Fat Farm. We wasn't really rocking with these brands too tough, but you know, somebody had something. You had at least 1-2 pieces that was a Rocawear or a Sean John. You know, I mean, from what I saw, but I wasn't seeing people every day, so I don't know. But let's continue. Jay-Z is an internationally respected entrepreneur. Okay, we read that part already. All right. In addition, Jay-Z has created other branding opportunities, including Reebok's S. Carter sneaker collection. Knew nothing about it. Furthermore, Jay-Z has ownership interest in an NBA basketball team, the New Jersey Nets, which became the Brooklyn Nets, and an upscale sports club, the 40/40 Club. And that was pretty dope. Jay-Z's artistic credibility and popularity have created strong demand for his participation in tour and musical collaboratives with other well-known artists and musical acts. For example, Jay-Z has successfully toured with 50 Cent in the Mic Tour and with DMX in the Hard Knock Life Tour. DMX did not appreciate it. There's a lot of stories. I'm just going to keep it quiet. We're going to stay on point. In early 2002, Jay-Z collaborated with R. Kelly on an album, Best of Both Worlds. During the recording of that album, the artist first discussed the possibility of participating in a personal appearance tour. However, in February of 2002, the Chicago Sun-Times reported that videotape existed depicting R. Kelly having illicit sexual relations with a 14-year-old girl. This startling allegation dampened for many months further discussions of a tour involving Jay-Z and R. Kelly. Shabu! In June of 2002, R. Kelly was arrested in Florida based on an Illinois arrest warrant. Upon information and belief, the warrant charged R. Kelly with 21 counts of child pornography based on his alleged illicit eggs with an underage girl, which was captured on video. The controversy and public condemnation that arose after R. Kelly's arrest, together with other salacious allegations concerning R. Kelly's sexual proclivities, curtailed any further discussion of possible tour with Jay-Z. In the fall of 2003, Jay-Z performed in concert at the Garden, and that was reported by the media as his farewell live performance. At the concert, Jay-Z performed with numerous of guest artists, including R. Kelly, Beyonce, Foxy Brown, Missy Elliott. R. Kelly demanded a substantial appearance fee for his performance as he revealed his mounting financial difficulties with legal troubles. Now pause. The reason why I call bullshit with them bringing up all of his allegations, right, is because we just heard him tell Sway what we heard him tell Sway, remember? Yeah, they gave him 21 counts in Chicago, and I believe it was 12 counts in... Okay, Diamond. In Florida. All right, so now we're going to the Best of Both Worlds tour. The audience's tremendous response to a duet performed by Jay-Z and R. Kelly reignited discussions of a possible tour collaboration. Imminent discussions continued until the summer of 2024, when Jay-Z and R. Kelly agreed to record a second album. Okay, in the course of those discussions, R. Kelly's representatives represented to Jay-Z that R. Kelly could and would commit to producing a live performance for the proposed tour, and that he could and would deliver a first-class performance at each concert. The Marcy parties relied upon those representations in proceeding to negotiate and enter into a contract with Atlanta Worldwide to co-headline the tour with R. Kelly. In negotiating acceptable financial terms, R. Kelly told Jay-Z and his representatives that he desperately needed money and that he would require substantial compensation to participate in the tour. He reiterated that to them his precarious financial and legal circumstances. Because Jay-Z was highly motivated to tour, he willingly agreed to accept a smaller percentage of Atlanta Worldwide's profits in order to accommodate R. Kelly's financial needs. So what he's saying is, you ain't get the bigger bag because you the bigger star. You got the bigger bag because you was in bigger debt and bigger trouble. But I just wanted to go on tour. Now pause there for a second, because Jay-Z is money motivated, and we can tell that. Like I said, I told you, Sagittarians, you wave some money at us and the price is right, we just might. But I'm not going to sell my soul. That's the difference. I ain't going to sell my soul for no money. But I'm just saying, if you saying, hey, Henny, can you do such and such, and you offer me a substantial bag, I'm going to do it. But it depends on what it is. Sorry, y'all. I live in New York and I live in an apartment building, and this sometimes happens when you live in an apartment building. So please disregard the girl having a temper tantrum downstairs because this happens very much often. Okay, so back to where we were. All right, so he agreed to that to help R. Kelly out. So basically, he's trying to say, like, hey, I'm just going to be a good friend and I'm just going to let you get a bigger bag. I'm going to tell you like this. I don't know no friends that are like that. To accommodate R. Kelly's financial needs, the promoter was compelled to increase the number of concert dates. Ordinarily, that would not be a problem. But in this case, upon information and belief, the court presiding over R. Kelly's criminal case granted only 2 months for R. Kelly to travel outside of Illinois. Thus, Atlanta Worldwide's sole option was to begin the tour in Chicago before the 2-month window began. By doing so, it shortened much needed rehearsal time and violated the rudimentary principles that a tour not being in a major venue before solving the performance and technical issues that generally arise. So what he's saying is, oh, well, because you had this 2-month window for court and because we didn't have proper time to prepare for this tour, that's why he had lighting issues. Ciao. Compounding the unnecessary scheduling problems because of R. Kelly's needs. R. Kelly insisted on selecting the production manager for the tour. His selection, Chris Weathers, was relatively unknown and lacked the requisite experience. Requisite experience to manage a multi-city tour of the tour sophistication. Sorry, y'all. R. Kelly's production manager then hired a lighting director who was a no-show, necessitating the hiring of Gary Westcott, a veteran director of such acts as Guns N' Roses, David Bowie, and Bon Jovi. Jay-Z and R. Kelly were individually responsible for coordinating their musical numbers with Gary, as well as ensuring that the concert was ready by the start of the tour rehearsals. So he's saying that R. Kelly dropped the ball with meeting with this guy to try to make sure that his lighting was all together. But as we heard in R. Kelly's suit, he did try to do all of that and it did not work. All right. You're asking who leaked R. Kelly's tape. That would be one of the young ladies who were on the tape. I forgot her name, but she said so in the Me Too document, how she got, not the Me Too, the Surviving R. Kelly, how she got a hold of the tape and how she mailed it to the Chicago Sun-Times, I believe it was, but it was one of the other girls. So Jay-Z and R. Kelly agreed to meet in Chicago approximately 10 days before the tour starts for the specific purpose of reviewing the material for the show and rehearsing. Jay-Z arrived timely, but R. Kelly's whereabouts was unknown. When he finally materialized several days later, insufficient time remains to rehearse adequately. Because of R. Kelly's absence, rehearsals were initially canceled at the Northern Illinois Convention Center, a venue selected by R. Kelly's tour manager. Moreover, the venue was plagued with electrical issues, leaving only 3 production days to squeeze in rehearsal and to complete tasks normally requiring considerable amounts of time. During the first of those 3 remaining days, Jay-Z scheduled a rehearsal with R. Kelly. Although Jay-Z timely appeared for the rehearsal, R. Kelly was late by more than 2 hours, and then he squandered the remaining time by playing basketball. Consequently, no meaningful rehearsal occurred that day, let alone during the remaining days. On the last scheduled rehearsal day, R. Kelly panicked, motivating him to attempt to rehearse. However, he spent considerable time laboring over innocuous issues pertaining to his sexually laden skits, which prevented him from attending important rehearsals with the lighting director, Jay-Z, the dancers, and other critical aspects of the show. So he's basically now trying to use his sexual appetite as a reason that he was not really doing his rehearsals the way he was supposed to when he finally did come around to rehearsing. But if I'm not mistaken, majority of R. Kelly's performance is actually based. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah. R. Kelly's failure and refusal to participate in those rehearsals hindered the lighting director, who needed time to review cues and other lighting issues with R. Kelly and his dancers. R. Kelly concentrated his time on a simulated egg skit involving a menage a trois inside a cage. I'm sorry. What? You laying it on thick, huh? Jay-Z is laying it on thick, okay? He's saying this man was focused on a act of a menage a tous in a cage more so than rehearsing. Okay. R. Kelly also rehearsed a skit involving simulated text messaging with a female audience member. The skit concerned the audience member's age, inappropriately prompting reminders of R. Kelly's criminal matter involving an underage girl. Now you're going to criminalize and vilify him in your lawsuit after you've already agreed to do a second album with him and go on tour. So now you want to criminalize and villainize him after you said you wasn't going to do that when you was doing your interview with Sway. Shame on you, sir. Shame on you. Moreover, R. Kelly failed to provide required video elements for the concert. Jay-Z's manager, John, I'm just going to say John, volunteered to assist R. Kelly inasmuch as R. Kelly came empty-handed. Working night and day, John pieced together video fragments from a variety of sources to meet the deadline for the first concert. R. Kelly belatedly hired a firm to create additional video, but the finished product was delivered late. Chicago. Baby, how long is this? Oh, we got a lot of Dr. Reed. Okay. All right. We almost done, y'all. The first concert was as well as could be expected, given the circumstances of R. Kelly's material defaults and misconduct. The Chicago crowd responded enthusiastically to Jay-Z's performance. R. Kelly's performance was notably mediocre, as it reflected his lack of preparation and rehearsal throughout his hometown performance. R. Kelly appeared uneasy and lethargic. Really? The Chicago media decried R. Kelly. I guess they would describe R. Kelly's inclusion of the edgily laden skit, viewing them as inappropriate and callous in light of the pending felony charges against him. Public outcry ultimately forced R. Kelly to remove the skit from the show. The public's reaction intensified R. Kelly's sudden and unenthusiastic attitude towards the tour. So he's saying because he got negative feedback, he didn't want to do the tour no more. Because the music and vocals for R. Kelly and Jay-Z were programmed in a computer, any changes to R. Kelly's vocals required time-consuming reprogramming. Without telling anyone, R. Kelly instructed a technician that he personally hired to reprogram his musical numbers between the first and second concerts. Those changes necessitated the lighting director, Gary, to make changes, but he was not provided by R. Kelly's with R. Kelly's reprogrammed vocals. For the second Chicago concert, the performers were directed to arrive by 7 p.m. The concert was scheduled to begin at 8 p.m. Jay-Z's timely arrived. However, R. Kelly was inexplicably absent. He arrived after 8:15, but refused to leave his tour bus. R. Kelly's representatives would not approach or even telephone him while he was in the bus. Jay-Z was informed only that R. Kelly refused to exit his bus. Unbeknownst to Jay-Z and the promoter, R. Kelly was waiting for his personal technician to deliver his reprogrammed vocals. After more than an hour and a half delay, concert goers became unruly and violent. The police threatened to employ a riot squad to prevent further violence, believing that the concert would be canceled because of R. Kelly's absence. At approximately 10 p.m., Kelly exited the bus and his reprogrammed vocals were finally delivered. The entire fiasco could have been avoided had R. Kelly informed the promoter or Jay-Z of his predicament, so concert goers could have been pacified. Since R. Kelly substantially modified his show, without coordinating with Gary or anyone else, snags arose in his performance. Appearing frustrated and depressed, R. Kelly abandoned the concert before its end, leaving Jay-Z on stage to perform their grand finale alone. Now, I don't know what really happened between these two. However, it's very clear that Jay-Z's stance is that basically R. Kelly was being a diva, okay, and was wanting things his way, was acting and behaving as if he was was acting and behaving as if he was on tour by himself. But the way that he laid out, for me, it's the way that he laid out the whole actual stuff first before getting to any of this stuff that makes me go, Okay, we back. All right. Cincinnati and other venues. Due to R. Kelly's unexpected and disruptive delay at the Chicago concert, the next scheduled concert in Cincinnati, Ohio was canceled because it was logistically impossible to travel there and set up in time. Cincinnati ticket holders were provided less than 24 hours notice. Hold on, guys. I'm live. No, I'm gonna get wings. Pizza shop wings? No. Due to R. Kelly's okay, we already read that part. The last minute cancellation, okay, they weren't given 24-hour notice of the concert's cancellation, which sucks because that means that people were actually showing up to the venue. The last minute cancellation was embarrassing to the tour and was damaging to Jay-Z's reputation. R. Kelly's conduct impacted box office receipts and thus prevented Jay-Z from increased earnings. In Columbus, Ohio, Jay-Z called a meeting with R. Kelly to discuss, in particular, Jay-Z's distress over the dissatisfaction with R. Kelly's general attitude, conduct, and performance. R. Kelly explained that he was dissatisfied with the lighting direction, okay, and that he intended to hire his own director, which backs up what R. Kelly said. Jay-Z responded that R. Kelly should hire whomever he'd like. However, R. Kelly did nothing. Interesting. In Baltimore, Maryland, R. Kelly sat down with members of the tour, including Gary, to review concert video footage so that he could air his complaints. Displeased to hear that he was the source of his own problems, R. Kelly verbally exploded, hurling objects and shouting that he was going home. He abruptly left the meeting, seeking sanctuary in his tour bus. Man, you acting like a baby. You really acting like a baby. R. Kelly's violent outburst occurred before the start of the sold-out Baltimore concert, which he had delayed for more than an hour and a half. With the Chicago incident still fresh in mind, the promoter and others were concerned that the audience members would become violent if the concert if the concert was canceled. A parked van blocked R. Kelly from leaving the venue, enabling the promoters to speak with R. Kelly, who by then was a weeping, emotional wreck. The promoter ultimately convinced R. Kelly to perform that night. All this cry baby stuff. But then when you in the bedroom with, let me shut up. You ain't no crybaby when shut up. Following the Baltimore concert, R. Kelly demanded 2 additional days of rehearsal before the next concert in Greensboro, North Carolina. The promoters and Jay-Z were informed that R. Kelly would abandon the tour if his demand was not met. Oh, this is diva behavior. R. Kelly ultimately backed down, agreeing to perform. He also recanted his threat to cancel further shows. Following the concert in Nashville, Tennessee, R. Kelly hired Curtis Battle as his personal production consultant, along with a lighting assistant named Root. To support R. Kelly, the promoter set aside a full day to permit R. Kelly to work on more changes to his ever-changing show. However, R. Kelly did not begin rehearsals until well into the evening that day. R. Kelly's next battleground was St. Louis, Missouri. Although he made minor changes to his performance, R. Kelly also added a skit that he had used on occasion during the tour. In the skit, R. Kelly appeared to strip in silhouette to the song Strip for You. Sorry, I like that song. While a group of dancers sauntered on stage carrying the removed clothing. R. Kelly then emerged from behind the screen wearing a trench coat. At the end of the song, as the lyrics "I'll strip for you" were sung, R. Kelly appeared to open his coat so as to appear to flash the audience. At the moment, the lights went black. Unfortunately, an unintended miscue arose that caused the lights to go black at the wrong moment. R. Kelly left the stage in rage. Without explanation or apology, R. Kelly returned to the stage, bowed to the audience, changed his outfit, hopped onto a waiting people mover, and left the venue before the concert was completed. The entire incident appeared on video screens in the arena. R. Kelly then went to a local McDonald's where he began serving food to patrons at the drive-thru. The concert's grand finale could not be performed in his absence. After the concert, R. Kelly renewed his threat to cancel the tour to return permanently to Chicago. He demanded that concerts in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Hartford, Connecticut be canceled so that he could rehearse for upcoming concerts at the Garden in New York City. The promoter acquiesced to keep the tour alive. On October 29th of 2004, Jay-Z and R. Kelly appeared at the Garden for the first of 3 scheduled concerts. However, that evening, R. Kelly's final curtain call. However, that evening became R. Kelly's final curtain call. Stating that he observed 2 men in separate times brandishing firearms, R. Kelly announced to the audience that he would not continue his performance. He threw his mic to the ground and exited the stage while crying hysterically. You just a crybaby. You a crybaby, suck your mama. But you ain't crying when you being what you being behind closed doors with these girls, with these women. You wasn't crying then. What you crying for? Huh? Now, Melissa, you are right. This is interesting that he's running into all these problems. I ain't hold on. Wait a minute. I ain't forget about the domino effect. I ain't forget what we just read in R. Kelly's document. I didn't forget that he was saying that he got the bigger money, and Jay-Z is admitting he got the bigger money, but he trying to excuse why he got the bigger money. It don't matter. The fact of the matter is he was getting more money than you. He was getting more money than you. And your lighting people was messing up. He mentioned nothing about more lighting issues in his lawsuit after he got his own lighting people there. Did y'all notice that? Oh, okay. I don't know. But he cries a lot. He cries a lot. Okay. Brandishing firearms, crying hysterically. Although a search was conducted by guard and security, and upon information and belief, New York City police, no weapons were found in the arena. However, by the time concert goers were rucious and impatient. Okay, the concert goers, they became agitated, okay, and they was being impatient for the continuation of the show. Okay, they was ready for the show to go. Like, we done paid our money, we're here, what are we doing? Can we keep the show going? We're about to flip, right? Recognizing that R. Kelly was not returning, Jay-Z appeared on stage and performed a number of songs. He then stopped and announced to the audience that if they indulged him, he would put together a show. Jay-Z left the stage and within a short time enlisted a number of well-known performers who were present that evening in the audience or as guests of the artist to perform, including P. Diddy, Usher, Foxy Brown, Ja Rule, and Mary J. Blige. The show was one of the most historic evenings in music. Oh my God. Oh my God. Anyway, because of R. Kelly's material defaults and misconduct, including unsafe and unpredictable behavior, Atlanta Worldwide terminated R. Kelly from the tour. How we going, hold on. How we going skip right over the fact that Tata maced him? How we going to skip over that? We just went to, hold on. Let's read how that ended again. All right. It said that he left the stage hysterically crying. Isn't that what it said? Yeah, right here. He threw his mic to the ground and exited the stage crying hysterically. And then the last line of the breakdown for the concert is that it was one of the most historical nights in music. What? All right. Let's go. Because of R. Kelly's material defaults and misconduct, including unsafe and unpredictable behavior, Atlanta Worldwide terminated R. Kelly from the tour. His termination left the tour operationally and economically unfeasible. However, due to the enormous response to the quickly assembled concert that was presented the night before, which was akin to hip-hop's Woodstock, the promoter discussed with Jay-Z and other artists the creation of a new tour. Atlanta Worldwide and Marcy Parties hope to mitigate some of their damages arising from R. Kelly's material defaults and misconduct. Thereafter, R. Kelly maliciously attacked Jay-Z and Jeff Sharp in the media, relying on false information and innuendos. However, upon information and belief, in an interview on Hot 97 FM, R. Kelly admitted that he never observed anyone with a firearm at the Garden on the 29th. Instead, he revised his revised cover story became that his behavior that night was prompted by threatening phone calls that he received earlier that same day. That is not what he said. He said that he was receiving threats by the peoples. Oh, y'all can't see me. that he was receiving threats by people that he didn't know. And when he went to go on stage, that there was peoples that was there acting like they had something in their coats on some Malcolm X, get your hand out my pocket type stuff. All right. So this was Jay-Z's counterclaim, or what we could find of Jay-Z's counterclaim. Okay. But the Los Angeles Times, y'all ready? I ain't gonna show it. I ain't gonna show it yet. Let me see something. Because, you know, I gave a lot of content. Because, you know, hell no. Can we get them likes up? That's a slap in the face. So this is the LA Times article that was written in May, on May 15th of 2005. Jay-Z's lawsuit thrown out. That's the lick back. A judge in New York has thrown out the countersuit that rap star Jay-Z filed against R&B singer R. Kelly in the wake of their ill-fated tour last year. MTV.com reported Tuesday. The pairing of the two had one of the most anticipated tours of the fall concert season, but it dissolved after R. Kelly walked off stage during a show at Madison Square Garden in New York. He subsequently filed a $75 million breach of contract suit against Jay-Z. The rapper then countersued, saying Kelly was to blame for the mess. Kelly's suit against R. Kelly continues, MTV says. Now, people want to know what the lick back was for, but here's the thing. Upon searching and digging, we're unable to find out what happened to R. Kelly's lawsuit. So now let's go down the body of evidence that we've collected throughout this video. They went on tour together. And as back it up. They created an album together called The Best of Both Worlds. Shortly after the release of that album, there was supposed to be a tour. But due to R. Kelly catching his case in Chicago and then later catching another case in Miami, said tour went from postponed to canceled. Months later, after the dust has settled and things have cooled off, Jay-Z and R. Kelly get together and create Unfinished Business. But before they dropped that album, they began to go on tour. They planned a whole tour for Best of Both Worlds, dropped strict Unfinished Business thereafter. Jay-Z felt away. No matter what anybody says, he felt away about the fact that he had this project out here that was now going to suffer. He said it was squandered talent. So he teamed up with R. Kelly to try to make some of his funding back. R. Kelly, for whatever reason, R. Kelly's side claims that he got the bigger bag because he was the bigger star. Jay-Z's side claims that R. Kelly got the bigger bag because of his lawsuit issues. Regardless to what happened, R. Kelly got the bigger bag. So now there's an L on the Best of Both Worlds because, you know, back then, artists didn't make their money off of the album. They made their money off the tours. You got to remember that. So now, if the tour is canceled and we done did this album, Jay-Z done took a hit. He done lost money. He got to recoup. He got to be recouped. So they go on tour. They drop a second album. And a second album would generate a second tour. But now, in the midst of all of this, I feel there was animosity there. There was animosity there for multiple reasons. And this is just my interpretation of things and why I feel like Jaguar Wright saying that Jay-Z was trying to get his lick back makes all the sense in the world to me. Yes, put your tinfoil kufi on because we going down a rabbit hole just a little bit. There was already a tension, an unspoken tension between the two of them over Aaliyah. Because remember, the both of them had dealt with Aaliyah. While Jay-Z never was with Aaliyah physically, that was an interest of his. You think R. Kelly was okay with that? He didn't even like when people questioned her too long or showed her too much attention. Remember, she did a thing on an interview and was singing, and he came and snatched her up. So you think he was okay with that? So now they go out on this tour, and there's all type of sabotage. Because I'm sorry, I believe that Jay-Z's people were instructed to mess with his lighting and things of that nature. Why? Because he's petty. He's a Sag. His petty hand is real strong. And you getting a bigger bag than me, and you already cost me a bag. If I can get you off this tour, I can get a whole bag to myself. Now he starts getting these threatening phone calls. Nobody knows where these threatening phone calls are coming from, but these calls are telling him not to show up to the Garden. Jay-Z's hometown. Sold out. So now R. Kelly gets to the Garden. Threats are already being made. He sees people moving suspiciously. He never said he saw a in anybody's hands, but they made motions. An already panicked man is now scared. He's going to run off the stage. Who's going to continue the show? Jay-Z. Who's going to get the bag by themselves? Jay-Z. What better way to get somebody off the show than in your own hometown, in your own backyard, in front of your own people? Pull a chess move. And it worked because he got R. Kelly off the tour. But R. Kelly got his lick back, suing him for $75 million. So what does Jay-Z do? I'm going to sue him back. I'm going to counter sue him. He loses his lawsuit. Another humiliation and another L at the hands of Robert Kelly. Time goes by, years go by, years go by, years go by. Jay-Z is steadily climbing and climbing and climbing in status and stature. And then boom, all of a sudden out of nowhere, R. Kelly goes tumbling down. Is it a conspiracy theory? It could be. Is it the truth? It could be. Either way, there is a possibility that what she is saying is absolutely on point, because that would be the ultimate get back. Because where is R. Kelly now? He ain't making no music. He ain't on tour. He can't even collect $1 off of his money, off of his music, because they wanted to mute him. They've never cried out for an artist to be muted before the way that they cried out for R. Kelly to be muted. Tom Joyner used to be a part of WBLS here in New York. You think he's not connected to Jay-Z or have a relationship with him in some type of way? You think Jay-Z can't influence radio stations to follow suit with a mute R. Kelly campaign? The reason why I'm looking at all of these conspiracies is because this. Jay-Z, R. Kelly, and P. Diddy all ran together. And all three of these men climbed to statures and heights in music and business that no one else has from our community. There can only be one at the top. There can't be three. There's only one seat at the head of the table, not three. And with all the chess pieces knocked off of the board, who's the last man standing? Jay-Z. So for me, I'm going to say I'm on Jaguar Wright's side with this. What side are you on? Y'all let me know. But shout out to all of the Henny gang that has been here from the beginning. I know this was a long one. I hope that this was informative. I attempted to do a little journalistic spin on this in the beginning of things and try to stay on track. There's a few fumbles and blunders, but that's what makes me me. And that's why y'all love me, because I'm human on this screen. But shout out to y'all that are here from the beginning. Shout out to y'all wherever you came in the video at and you stayed to this point. Thank you so much. If you're just joining, I ask you to go back and watch the replay from the beginning. I know that this is a long one, but trust me, I think it is very much worth it. This was a lot of information, but baby, we went down a rabbit hole, okay? And that rabbit hole took us deep, and there are more conspiracies that we are thinking about that are going on. And I may just do a history of Jay-Z's shady business. I got to see if I'm going to do that or not. But thank y'all for tapping in and tuning in. Remember what I say, when you vibe high so that the bullshit don't stick. Shout out to the replay gang, because y'all be running it up. Have a great day, everybody. I love y'all. And well, no, we won't be back because I go to work. But y'all know, I got y'all. But I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace, y'all.